everyone, and welcome to another episode of Backstage Pass. I'm your host, Samantha Powell, and as always, joined with the fabulous Ben Bernard. Ben, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Sam. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm doing fabulously. Had a
Excellent.
wonderful Easter. I'm not sure if you guys do anything over across the pond over where you are.
Yeah, so in the UK, we get Friday, the Good Friday and Easter Monday as bank holidays, which is nice. So we don't have to go to work, spend some time with family, or, if you're celebrating, do that kind of thing if you want. But this year, I was actually in Poland for Easter. My girlfriend is from Poland.
Oh.
So we went to go and visit some of her family. And yeah, Poland is quite a Catholic country. So
Uh-huh.
Easter is quite a big deal, generally speaking, especially with the older generation. So we went there, had a really nice time, like celebrating, having big meals and all that kind of stuff, a few drinks, whatever. But then I was introduced to an interesting tradition that happens on the Monday. So
Okay.
the Easter Monday, which is so the Monday straight after Easter Sunday, it's called Schmingus Dingus. Okay.
Are you
Um,
joking with
no,
me?
honestly, seriously. So, well,
Schmingus
when
dingus.
Schmingus Dingus. So, and what you do is, it's like it's a tradition which commemorates the baptism of Poland. I'm not sure exactly
Mm.
what that means, but I think it happens also in Hungary and Slovakia, maybe and maybe a couple of other places. But essentially, you basically just have like a massive water fight. It's amazing, and everyone gets involved, right? So maybe like I don't know 9 a.m. on the Easter Monday, get a knock at the
Okay.
door, open the door, and her grandmother's there with a like a water gun, just blasts you in the face, shouts this Schmingus Dingus. You then get your own one and blast her back,
Oh my
and then you
gosh.
run out into the street. And if you're lucky and the weather's nice, everyone's out there just like
That
splashing each
is
other with water, shooting guns,
so
like like
awesome.
buckets of water everywhere. It was amazing, and there's all like obviously the young kids really love it. So there's these little kids running around splashing each other, and then but it literally every like generation does it, and
Oh my
yeah,
gosh. I hope
it
you
was
didn't
really good
get
fun.
Granny in the face with the water gun, Ben. Please tell me.
Well, I want to fit in. I don't want to
Okay.
seem like I'm not embracing the tradition. So
I
yeah,
see.
I
Yes.
got her in the face.
Make sure to keep the girlfriend happy and then yes.
Yeah,
Super
I think she would have
soaker
been. I think she
grandma.
would have been more unhappy if I hadn't participated. That's the story I'm telling myself anyway.
Let's go with that.
Let's
I mean, once a year,
Yeah,
right?
let's see if I get invited back.
Okay,
Let's
I
see.
think so. And if so, then next time you've got to upgrade the super soaker, or yeah,
Exactly.
you got to come up
Maybe I'll
with some
just
new
like call up the
ideas.
local fireman, and just like get that involved in advance. But yeah, how
Oh
was
my
your Easter?
gosh.
Did you
Okay, so
celebrate Easter?
no comparison to that story. Yeah, where do you go from there? No, I had our lovely little my two nephews are so cute. So they
Hmm.
are of the egg hunting age, you will say. Granted, you could technically do it whatever age. So yeah, so we had the eggs sprinkled around the house. We had some outside. My sister did a really good game where my nephew who is going on 6 like would open them up and it would have like a riddle and he has to go find it. It'd be like, oh well, you're not going to find me here, but I'm somewhere where it's really cold and free. So he'd go to the freezer and open that
Hmm.
egg and it would have another one, so it would go and going on. He's just so smart, so I love seeing that. And my little 3-year-old, he's getting the hang of it. He didn't necessarily want to go find them, so his brother would go get them and bring them for him. So it was really nice. They did the whole Easter basket and everything. So it was great. We didn't spray anybody in the face with water, so it wasn't as exciting, I guess. But
Maybe
I,
introduce that
I,
as a thing next year.
I think that's what we're gonna do. So I'll be like, this is what they do in Poland. So
Yeah,
we're going to make sure that these kids are multicultural and they understand what happens around the world. So yes, please
exactly.
come back with other cultures traditions, and I'd like to see if we can one up that one like every
Yeah.
year.
I'll
That would
do my
be
best.
awesome.
On my travels, I'll collect. Yeah, I'll collect traditions, and I'll just give them all to you, and then you're gonna like just bring them down on your poor unsuspecting family
Oh,
at various
yes.
points. So
Oh, there's some that I wish I could throw the water bottles at. So, or water, yeah, balloons and things. I'm just gonna
yeah,
say, that's happening on May 5th or May 1st.
yeah,
The
exactly,
Cinco de Mayo. That's what we're gonna do.
exactly. There you go. Just tell them. This is what they do in Poland. There you go. So yeah, no, it was a good time. I guess I will find out if I get invited back. But yeah, we'll see. But anyway, we're getting closer and closer to the show. How are you doing in terms of preparation for the show? What does that look like? Do you have to sort of plan it meticulously, or are you the kind of person who just chucks a few things in a bag and just jumps on a plane?
Oh my gosh, I wish I could do that. I almost missed it. Like, well, funny thing is, I did a trip. Yeah, I went to Mexico. Totally forgot that that's considered an international flight, and you have to be there earlier. Yeah, I thought about that as it's like coming up on the hour that I need to rush to the Uber. So I'm like, oh my gosh, can we make this work? So no, I am not one for like throwing things in the bag. It takes me so long. And then I'm looking at the calendar to see like, oh my gosh, it's almost May. And I'm like, okay, so
Hmm.
yeah, I really have to get my game face on. So right now, yeah, meeting with a lot of the speakers and people who are going to be like on our panelists at the show and on some of our education sessions. So really just doing a lot of that. And then yeah, now I got to figure out what to wear. So those are the very, first world problems, right? Oh my gosh, like what am I gonna wear to InfoCom? I do have a pair of sneakers. I bought them specifically for the show because
Hmm.
everybody like the sneaker culture, like I felt left out because I'm a heels girl. So
Hmm.
I've got that ready. But otherwise, yeah, it's just kind of been like everybody's just really trying to get everything together, at least in the content creation side of things. So super busy, but a super exciting time. Really
Okay.
looking forward to it. Wish you were there, Ben.
Yeah, well, hold on though. I want to know, what can you tell us about these sneakers? Is this going to be a big reveal, or can you give us some details? Have you kind of really gone all out? You said you're trying to fit in with those like sneakerheads,
I
that
know.
group. So
I wonder
what
if
have you
they'll
gone
be able
for?
to catch that I'm not really a sneaker. I mean, I have like a pair of Asics that I've had for like 5 years. I don't know if those are cool or not. No, the ones that I
Well, if they're
will
5 years old, maybe they're like considered retro. I don't know. Maybe the sort of parameters are different for sneakers.
oh,
Obviously, like
that
with
could be it.
furniture, like antiques have to be like 100 years old or whatever. Sneakers, maybe the bar is lower. So you could be like, hey,
That
I've got
could be
these
it.
antique Asics.
Yes. And I can say like all the countries that they've been in and walked around. Yeah, I should do
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
The one pair that is the cool pair that I'm bringing I actually did get in Rome. And
Mm.
it's very like kind of because like my feet are too big. Sorry, everybody. And we don't like to talk about feet. I have big feet for a little girl. Like I'm sure. I don't understand how that happened. But anyways, so they can't just be regular sneakers. So they're fabulous sneakers. So they're kind of like
Hmm.
Spice Girls ish with a nice heel, like a platform heel, and they're
Nice.
super sparkly. So I think I can fit in. They're really comfortable. So I'm excited to bring them. So I'm gonna make it. It's gonna be a thing. So it's gonna be a
Good.
thing.
Glad to hear it. Well, without further ado, why don't we get to our first segment of the podcast for today? I believe our colleague Carrie, who's also the producer on this podcast, she spoke to John Shelley at OptiSigns about all the stuff that they're going to be doing at Infocom this year, maybe their stand, the session that they're going to be doing on Avix Exchange Live. So why don't we have a look at that segment?
Absolutely.
I'm Carrie Johnson, and today I'm joined by John Shelley, Head of Sales at OptiSigns. John, how are you doing today?
Doing great today this morning. Thanks, Gary.
Good, I'm glad. So, the last time we chatted was at ISC. We had so much fun there. It was definitely like a great experience, I would say. An interesting experience for all of us. Now, everyone is turning their attention to InfoComm. And so, this is OptiSign's first time exhibiting at InfoComm. Can you share what the experience is going to be like for visitors at your booth?
Absolutely. Well, we decided let's make it count, and got a very large island space, 20 by 30, to build a really fun, interactive experience for people to see the breadth and opportunities within digital signage with OptiSigns and our partners as well. So, going to be a lot of different stations for understanding the use cases and features as well as integrations and having a bit of fun.
So, interactive, that is the word that everyone's using now. Integration, interactive, all that fun stuff. So, what are the interactions that OptiSigns will have at the booth for visitors to enjoy and experience?
Yeah, well, one of the things that we're going to really be highlighting is our partnership with Nexmosphere. Probably a lot of people are familiar with them, utilizing sensors for advanced functionality. And we got a little bit of a game going on. And if it hasn't changed, I think it's got a bit of a casino theme to spin a wheel and have an experience of what's resulted and picked. And so. The display will be driven by the specific sensor involved there, and that's going to highlight some exciting use cases that are available across our platform.
Speaking of casino theme, that just means you need to come to Vegas next year for InfoComm because that's what we'll be, and you can do the same thing.
Perfect. It'll be pre-built. We'll make it easy.
Right, right. It'll just be perfect. So, with OptiSigns having a booth at InfoComm this year, you will also have a presence at several locations around the show, including Avixa TV, the CTS Lounge, and Exchange Live. Can you talk a little bit about the conversation you'll be having at Exchange Live?
Yeah, Exchange Live is going to be really great. We put together an awesome experience. I think I'm really excited about it personally. There's really kind of two pieces to it. People can, if they think I'm really attractive and want to see me again, I'll be speaking a little bit and setting the stage for a panel that's hosted immediately right after. I'll be driving the panel instead of answering questions primarily because we wanted to highlight an expert from our product team, as well as several customers and partners. And so we've brought together a great panel. Verkada in the security and other space is a great customer of ours and utilizes us internally to improve their business operations. Lazy Boy is rolling out OptiSigns with advanced integration for their sales showrooms. And we're going to have Harry Ladd, their senior director of stores, as well as uh, Nexmosphere, putting some time into our booth as well as being on the panel to really get that detailed information shared across all issues, and Chris Murgo from USSI to consider the partnership and integration work that is needed for these advanced functions. And um, what I haven't shared yet, of course, is the theme from our booth to the speaking and the panel. It's all about the future of digital signage and the evolving landscape of what's available, what can be done now that maybe people aren't expecting and should be rolling out shortly, as well as what's coming and what people can expect.
So let's stay on that, right? The theme this year is about digital signage of the future. So, how do you see digital signage evolving in the next few years? And how do you think it will change the way brands connect with their customers?
Sounds like a fun question. So, I mean, let's get back to kind of the history and story. Why did digital signage happen at all? Number one is, because of ease of management. It's easier than print. But what we found and is well known and established is that digital signs get noticed more frequently. They get recalled more effectively. They are really better in every way to the printed experience, and so they've become ubiquitous in consumer-facing spaces. But what they are not yet doing everywhere is driving real changes in action and behavior from the consumers that are visiting space, but also from the employees that operate it. and how that works. And that's one of the reasons we brought Zach from Verkada into our panel, because it really highlights a big shift. The future of digital signage is uh, universal. We are really delivering on not only the consumer but also the business operations in how multiple teams see what they need to do and can act on it. So speed of effective delivery of the next action that needs to be accomplished to make any process run smoother, faster, and with better efficiency and better results overall is something that we really want to be helping people to be aware of in that space. And then, of course, um, the more we get into the consumer side, the more we can really drive behaviors that respond, whether it's increased loyalty and not just increased transaction size, which obviously is a goal, but getting them to return, getting them to have a better, more rich experience so that they connect with the brand and not just the item that they purchased.
Yeah, that all sounds wonderful. So, speaking of getting you to return, hopefully you do return to InfoComm next year. But so this is your first time. Has anyone given you any tips or tricks when it comes to InfoComm?
Well, the team with Avixa and Infocom in general has been really helpful. We were able to, choose our space very effectively, and put the plan together with your team. I can't thank you guys enough for that, and we're really pleased at how it is shaping up for what we are delivering. Um, Orlando is a bit of a spread out place, so
Mhm.
the general recommendations is get near the convention center because it's not exactly great weather in June. Um, but but yeah, no, the effectiveness and success of the show is already, I think, starting to show through, and we're really pleased with how it's being run. So I would expect us in Vegas next time.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, John. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today.
Yeah, it's been great, Carrie. Thanks again. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Carrie, for another wonderful interview. And thanks so much, John, for sitting down with Carrie. Can't wait to see him at InfoComm.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to see John. He was so great to interview on the Avixa TV show at ISC this year. So yeah, I'm sad I won't be there to see him, but I guarantee anyone coming into contact with John or going to their Exchange Live session is going to have a really good time. So yeah, fingers crossed that all goes well. What have we got next?
Up next, I had a wonderful conversation with Jo Fostock. She is a true pioneer in event technology and a recent recipient of the Smart Women in Meetings Award. So, congratulations to her for that. And she's got a wonderful panel that's coming up at InfoComm on Tuesday, June 10th. So make sure you check that out. So we had so much fun talking about all of those things. Then we also got to talk about a little fun stuff too, what to do at InfoComm when you kind of want to wind down after those hectic days. And she knows everything about Orlando. So let's take a peek. Well, I'm joined today by the wonderful Jo Fostock. Jo, thank you so much for joining us on Backstage Pass.
Thank you for having me, Samantha. Very excited to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Our audience wants to know everything.
Well, we'll start with the high level just to keep everybody entertained for a quick second. I'm Jo Fostock, Director of Event Technology with Expo Digital. We have the pleasure of building out temporary internet infrastructures and digital signage enhancements at large scale events coast to coast. So it's probably the coolest industry to be in. I know it's not anything anybody woke up one day and said, I know what I'm going to do with my life, but it's where I landed and I love it so much. Never the same day twice. And I get to travel and see all kinds of venues and projects across the US. When I'm not doing that, I get to be engaged in a lot of event and hospitality organizations, both locally here and then also nationwide. I'm part of MPI, SEMA, and PCMA, where I'm able to host mentorships and leadership roles with throughout the board, community engagement. It's been very rewarding.
Wonderful. So I'm just nosy. So what's one of the coolest places that you visited, and maybe one of a really interesting project or something that you got to work on?
We'll start with interesting just because that's what we do. So, our team is very lucky to where we get to build out, like I said, temporary infrastructure. So, places that people aren't normally in when they need connectivity and network. So, we've done some projects in old train stations. We just finalized one that was on the beach in Miami. We've done things in the desert of Tucson. So, really, just anything that you would not expect. Rundown fire stations. I mean, really bringing everything out of the ballroom and where the dreams can happen. That's what we get to do. So I think that's been very, very fun for me.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely a very interesting job that you have there.
I'm lucky.
Yeah. Fantastic. And I know earlier this year you were recognized as a Smart Woman and Meetings Award winner. So cheers to that, as well as a
Yeah.
2025 Woman to Watch. So really kudos to you and all that you're doing. So I just want to know a little bit more about your journey and what advice you would give to women who are looking to break into this space as well.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Honestly, the recognition came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it at all. And honestly, I think we all kind of go through this. You doubt yourself sometimes. You don't know that you're making the moves you think you are, or you're impacting people in the right way. So these recognitions kind of came at not. There's no more perfect time for me personally, where it really gave me that solitude and made me feel a little bit like I was doing the right thing. But it also comes with a lot of responsibility with that. So you get recognized in these ways, and you want to continue to be a powerful motivator and uplift others as you are able to climb and be recognized too. So, I would say for women that are looking to break out into this space, my biggest piece of advice is build your network early and often. Continue to go out, meet people, and surround yourself with people who will challenge you. I think that's been a major factor of my success and what I've been able to do is surround myself with people that are going to help to teach me things and before I even know that that's what's going on. And then they're also there to support me and open doors for me. I think that's a huge piece. But then you have to turn around and do the same thing for others. I don't want anyone to ever feel ready whenever there's an opportunity. I don't think that there is a time to be ready. So that's another piece of it. If you get an opportunity, growth comes in stretch moments, not comfortable ones. So just take the opportunity where you can.
I love that. That's wonderful advice. And I definitely think Infocom is a wonderful space where you can, practice a lot of those things that you were talking about. There's so much networking that goes on there. And yeah, it's vital to continue to follow up on those, those relationships and continue to build on those. So that's really wonderful advice. And so excited to have you speaking on one of our wonderful panels. So I know that that's going to be taking place on Tuesday morning at
Hmm.
Infocom. So, can you
Yes.
just share with our audience a little bit about what's going to be taking place at that panel, and if there's any key takeaways or anything that you can share with our audience?
Absolutely. And this is another opportunity where I was brought in and somebody said my name in a room, and that's why I'm here. So I was presented with this opportunity to sit among some amazing women in technology, and I couldn't be more excited. We are talking about contingency planning and what to do when there's no real plan for it. So between security breaches, fire outbreaks, technology fails, all the things that could happen that you hopefully planned for, we're going to hope to make sure that you are prepared for those things. So bright and early on Tuesday, we're going to get everybody ready to rock and roll, get their pencils out, ready to take some notes because we are going to set them up for their next project.
All right, so everybody, make sure you check out Joe's session. I know it's going to be a fabulous one. I know I'm definitely going to try to get there and check that out. So, everybody knows you go to Infocom or any of these large trade shows, there's so much hustle, there's so much bustle. You're trying to do everything. You're up early and you're staying out late. It's an intense show, but it's so worthwhile, and there's so much there. So. And Orlando is such a fun city, right? So, are there any hidden gems or tricks or tips or anything that you're looking forward to, or anything that you can just share with our audience to help them, wind down and have fun during the show, since it's just so massive?
It is massive, and I get to, like I said, travel all year round to all kinds of conferences. But this conference is in my home turf, so I am
Oh,
the perfect
good.
person to ask about Orlando. We can basically have the autonomy here to go from the conference room to coasters because we're obviously known for those theme parks. But Orlando is so much more than that. With everyone coming to the Orange County Convention Center, for the show. Our locals will call it iDrive. So if you hear that, International Drive is iDrive. Now you're a local. Now you have a pro tip. You can fit right in with us. But plenty of places to walk on iDrive. You have Point Orlando and Icon Park with plenty of things to do, live music, retail, you have dining, all kinds of that. But if you want to take a step away, take the time to yourself, go down to Lake Eola, enjoy some nice quiet time, grab some coffee, maybe jump in a swan boat, make a memory, who knows? And then our foodies are really going to enjoy the city as well. Our Michelin restaurants have elevated immensely over the past 18 months. So definitely look at reservations now if you can. But take some time to yourself. The show's going to be amazing, but you will need a couple of times to be able to step away. And there's plenty of things to do in Orlando.
That's wonderful. So I am a true foodie at heart. So I need to know
I'll get
what
you.
are
I have,
some of, yeah, but I want to know some of your favorite restaurants. So give
ooh.
me one or two that you really love so I know that I can make a reservation like now and make sure I
Yeah,
get it.
absolutely. If you want an Orlando favorite, Kabuki Sushi is one of those that is going to be recognized chef that does amazing things. You have a ton of things down in the Milk District and Ivanhoe. So if you look at those areas, those are going to be more of your local spots. But if you're staying around the convention center, you can't go wrong with Del Frisco's Double Eagle Steakhouse on iDrive or Ocean Prime just around the corner for those nice steakhouse experiences.
Those are absolutely two of my favorite
See?
steakhouses. We have them in like
We
the
have so
DC
much in
area.
common.
Yeah. Oh, we're here. Yes. You said
Yeah.
steak. I said I'm there. And
And I've been to the ones in DC. I've been to both of those locations actually.
aren't
So
they great? I
they're
know.
fantastic.
And it's trusted. Yeah, you know that they're gonna have great food. So and I know exactly where
Absolutely.
they are. They're on iDrive, right? If I'm
Yep.
not mistaken. Yep. So right there. So
You're
good.
local.
Like
I drive.
I know,
Absolutely.
right? It's all within walking distance. Yeah, I feel like everybody feels like a local after they've been there that week during the during the show.
Yes.
But it's
Bring
good you
your
want to get your
sunscreen,
steps
drink
in.
your water. Yep. You'll be good to go.
Yes. Right? You'll need your fan for when you're outside and a jacket for when you're inside.
And then you're all set. You got it
That
all.
is absolutely fantastic. Well, I can't wait to see you at the show, Joe. I know we're
Thank you.
gonna
I'm
have
looking forward to
wonderful
it.
time. Absolutely. So I hope you've enjoyed being on Backstage Pass. We've loved having you, and I can't wait to catch up in Orlando in a month or so.
Hopefully we'll see you at the session. If not, I'll see you on the show floor.
Absolutely. Thank you so much,
Thank
Joe.
you. Thanks.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Sam. Another wonderful interview conducted there. And great chat there with Joe. Really enjoyed the stuff that she was saying about advice for women looking to break into the event space and also the little sneak preview of the panel that she'll be hosting there. So, yeah, it looks really exciting.
Absolutely. And I can't wait to check out her panel on Tuesday morning. So everyone make sure to go to infocomshow.org and find her information and add that to your calendar. So looking forward to that so much. And Ben, I think we're approaching our halfway point for our series of Backstage Passes. How do you feel?
I feel sad that I'm not going to be at the show. Like all these interviews that we're doing with these amazing people, talking about all the stuff that's going to be happening at the show. It is going to be, there's going to be a lot that I'm going to be missing out on. But, I'll just have to have words with friends in the future and just say, look, these are the dates when I go to shows.
Yes.
Do not get married in these dates. And if you do, just don't expect me to be there because I'm going to be busy.
Yes.
But it's going to be, I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic show. But yeah, as you say, we're approaching the halfway point in this series. Next week, I believe we have Avacor coming in to speak to us on the Backstage Pass podcast. So that's going to be really interesting. Look forward to seeing what they have to talk about. But until then, if you can believe it, Sam, we've come to the end of another episode.
I'm so sad about
I just
that.
want to say it's been a pleasure. Yeah, it's been a pleasure seeing you again, sharing with you the traditions of Easter in Poland,
Yes.
hearing about all the things you've been doing, speaking to our wonderful guests as well. But for now, I'm going to say on behalf of Samantha Powell and myself, we will see you on the next episode. Goodbye.
See you soon.